Hey there, everyone. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. Pretty sure everyone's going to be here. Robbie, Rex, John, hopefully. I'll come in if I feel like it, and Nick's definitely going to pop in at some point. But we're going to have all your favorites. Commission cover art, Dynamite books, Marvel, DC, all that you can think of. It's going to be a good show regardless, and if we get enough viewers, we'll throw in a giveaway. Don't tell Nick. So come join us. Remember, it's The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6. Just remember that. 6. Can't wait to see it.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. In particular, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live Station. Pop, pop, boom! How is everybody doing? It's been so long since we've done a Rockin Robbie Live. It's been 5 weeks, a 5 weeks absence. Like, since then, we've had Christmas, we've had New Year's, we've had the Cowboys' heartbreaking finale to their season. There's been so much stuff that's gone on since the last time we've done this show, including other shows, but I feel like I haven't gotten to actually hang out and talk to y'all for a while, so I am super stoked to be back, to return with the 2023 season of Rockin Robbie Live. It's the show where we gather on Sunday nights and we talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. We got a great show planned for you tonight, including the DC sneak peek, including Marvel in the 90s, including Batman, and a few other surprises here and there. And I totally just remembered I forgot to grab the stuff for the first 5. So we're doing something different tonight, but when we get to that part, we'll figure out what's going on. Anyway, even though we got a purpose tonight, even though we have plans, the whole point of this show is to interact with you, to have this conversation. This show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So get them in right now. What do you want to chat about? What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? And while you're letting me know what you want to chat about, I will say that you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you might as well follow Pop Culture Philosophers there, though we are very inactive there, except for in the PCP Army, where all of the excitable PCP crew, except for Brooks, who is off on a walkabout right now. No, he's whatever. He's on a walkabout. Let's just say that. And also, What was I going to say? Instagram, Facebook, Pop Culture Philosophers is on Instagram. It's been a while since we've done this, so bear with me. You can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can support the channel with Super Chat, which will trigger a Hellboy video, and I don't know if I still got it in me because it's been a few weeks. However, Super Chats are always welcome and appreciated. You can also support the channel at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. What's coming up here on the channel? Well, first of all, we got Dylan's Horror Show upcoming this week. Why did I do this backwards this way? It doesn't matter. Dylan's Horror Show this upcoming Saturday is Smile, which I've never seen. Tomorrow, right before PCP Movie Night, join Scarpad's domain for Scarpad's Sci-Fi Sojourns as they talk about the Terminator. But PCP Movie Night tomorrow night, that's right, it's all been building up to this. PCP Army, it's all been leading to this, the most important show that we will ever do on Pop Culture Philosophers. Surf Ninjas on PCP Movie Night. Also making the announcement that PCP mystery boxes are now available. We only have 10 available. They are $30. That includes shipping. If you're interested in one, email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com. You'll get an invoice. You pay that invoice. You get a mystery box, and in it's going to be comics, other fun little things, cards. It's always a pleasure. And if you want to know exactly what's in them, just check out some of the PCP mystery box unboxing videos out there on the YouTube. All right, now that all that is out of the way, how's everybody doing? Let's take a look at the chat. Tim Crocker first in the building. What is up, my man? Tim Crocker, more like the Rocker. How are you doing? Mellow Dope Comics, Station. Empire Comics. What up, Robbie? Station. Yes, why you gotta. Hi, what's up? Helena, what is up? Matthew. We got two Matts in the house. What is up, y'all? We got Perry, my man, star of That Man, Batman. I'm very excited for tonight's intro. By the way, Perry, if you're still here, if you could send me a few more of those, they'll be needed in the next few weeks. Our Ariaga's in the house. Station, my man, how you doing? Happy that we're over all the cowboy drama. Yep. You know, I wanted to bring Rockin Robbie live back last week, but I didn't want to do it live during the 49ers game, and I don't know, man. I actually had a good time watching the game, even though the result was not what I wanted. The Eagles won today. The Eagles handled the 49ers today, and the AFC Championship is tonight. As Larry is pointing out, this is a bad time. The AFC Championship game's on. Well, I don't care about the AFC Championship game, but if you do watch the game, you can always watch us later on the replay. Plenty of people do. We always appreciate the replay watches. Two Gun is in the house. Pew, pew. How you doing, my man? Third Rail up in the building. Reverse Amoeba is here. Man Cave Theater. Twitch, what is up? You say heartbreaking, I say freaking hilarious. That play was so bad. Yeah, it was. How them Jaguars doing? Oh, okay. Good seeing you, Twitch. Eric is in the house. Look at all these blue wrenches. They're just like throwing wrenches all over the place. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, right? Atari, what is up? Rockin Robbie, what are your thoughts on the film The Menu? I don't have any thoughts on The Menu right now. I really, really want to watch it. Anticipated making the time to watch it over the last 5 weeks. Did not. Have watched a lot of films in that 5-week period. I went on a tear on one day in particular, but haven't seen The Menu yet. I had Mia on the show again, Anna Mia Cosplay, and we were talking about horror films and just films in general, and she highly recommended The Menu to me as well as other people. So I'm excited to check it out. I recommended The Northman and Banshees of Inisherin to her, so I hope she checks them out. And there's going to be more involved. Like, there's going to be some exciting announcements for the future, y'all, especially for you horror fans. We're not ready to reveal everything. But I don't have any thoughts on The Menu. But I hear it's really good. I want to see it. Billy, what is up? Rockin' Robbie looking like the Kool-Aid Man tonight. You know, I should actually get my Kool-Aid Man t-shirt. That's what I should. It's like same color, but it's the Kool-Aid Man. Why not? Perry says, yo, Arnold swinging the meat around was a good treat. Yeah, she said, was that the first time you watched Terminator, Perry? Joram, what is up? PCP on Rockin' Robbie Live. Dude, the post on Facebook with the intro had me stuck. Y'all talking about my good man Davey. Let's give him another shout out. This is my good man Davey. You can find him on Instagram of Alien Descent.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
So Davey's a good buddy of mine. I like him, so I appreciate that. He's wearing my clothes. I don't know if you noticed that. Joe is in the house. What is up, my man? Joe's lag. Joe's lag. Joe's lag. Kenneth, what is up? Back into comics. What is up? Look at everybody just being all so happy with each other. No, William, I have not watched The Last of Us. I wasn't anticipating it just because I don't really play modern video games at all. And I know that The Last of Us is a big deal. And I know people really, really like the story of it. So I just didn't, check it out at all. But I've heard really, really good things about it. So I'm excited to check it out. If I can carve out the time. There have been some changes, y'all. I'm going to be honest with y'all. There have been some changes going on behind the scenes. And changes for the best. Changes for the better. For not just me, but for this channel. And for this community. And nothing's going away. Nothing's changing really. But there might be like more breaks here and there. There may be like more time off just kind of put in. But the weekly comic book review will always be there. And we're always excited to keep bringing you content. But I've been in a mode of reflection about my schedule, where I am in my life, and what I want to do like for the next 5 years. And I don't want to spend it all in this room. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get out more, including more appearances at cons. I'm anticipating being at MegaCon this year, Heroes Con this year, and Scarefest this year for sure. And, of course, the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, which has got some really exciting guests. Tom DeFalco, Roy Thomas, William Shatner, Brett Spiner, Gates McFadden, Amy Jo Johnson. Really excited for that. And we're bringing our homie Liana Kangas down from Memphis, and very excited to have them on the in town and to hang out with them and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a great, great time. What's up, James? What's up, Nova 69, dudes? Jordan says, Rockin Robbie, you know I enjoyed the live interview with Mia. Just want to show my appreciation again. It was a refreshing set. She has a dynamic personality station. Yes, Mia is a sweetheart. She is awesome. Friend of the show. Perry says, I've been playing the game, and it's pretty good so far. I'm about 4 hours in, and I dig it. I get hella scared, though. I'm a straight biatch. Eric says, nice Vampirella mag in the back. Yes, this is actually the very first time we ever had Mia on. It was to promote this, which is a reprint of a Vampirella comic or magazine. It's a reprint of which one? I have stuff from like 67, 70. I don't remember exactly. But it is the Vampirella comic. It's a facsimile of it. But it does have a new cover with Mia on it. But that was the first time we had her on. Second time was when she started writing Betty Page. And this one was for a Red Sonja book that she's writing right now. And if you're interested, check out that interview. It's a great conversation. And check out the Indiegogo link. And support our friends at Dynamite and Mia. Perry says, MegaCon, whoop, whoop. Yeah, dude, I am making it happen. Some of the people that were in my MegaCon group started falling out. And I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing, man? Like, MegaCon's coming up very soon. We need to get on the ball. And now a lot of stuff is in the air, but I am going to goddamn be there because I want to hang out with Perry. 100%. And Spilios, going to want to hang out with him. Yes, keep the book review, Rockin' Robbie. Do you know what happened to Jim Minton doing the book reviews? Haven't seen a review from him in weeks. No, I've been meaning to reach out to him and be like, are you done doing them? I noticed that he was done doing them, and that's unfortunate for those of us who love hearing his thoughts on the comics, and I do. So, I don't know. I know that Jim has an incredible sense of hustle and drive and ambition. And a lot of us overstuff our schedules, and there's so much we all want to do. And sometimes we have to make hard choices. And I don't know, but thanks for reminding me. I need to reach out. Make sure everything's cool. Maybe like, bro, you still like comics, don't you? But yeah, the weekly comic book review is never going away. I know I could get rid of every video, but keep that one, and I think we would be fine. But I love Rockin Robbie Live. I love the wrap up. I love PCP Movie Night. I love doing Dylan's Horror Show. But sometimes I'm just gonna be like, Dylan, I ain't doing it tonight. I've been hurt too much lately, like Burial Ground and Kingdom of the Spiders, Storm of the Century. Whew. Man, I know though we got some bangers coming up. This week is Smile. I have not seen Smile. Hey y'all, is Smile good? Manny, what is up? Nerdtastic news, everybody. Twitch says, my Jaguars losing just means more time for video games and comics. Yeah, after last week, I was like, well, at least my obligation to football is over. And y'all keep me up on the game tonight. Has it started yet? Or it hasn't started yet, has it? Hey, Bullseye Bob from Everything Comic Station. How you doing, my man? Good to see you. Billy says, I'm making a hard choice of whiskey when I get off work this morning. All right. As long as it's the right choice, maybe it's the hard choice. You never know, right? Trenton, what is up? Taki is in the house. Helena says, Christina V is also going to be at the expo this coming year. She voiced Sailor Mars from Sailor Moon, among others. Brooks is a huge Sailor Moon fan. Huge Sailor Moon fan. I've never watched it. I've never read it. I'm not against it. Maybe sometime I should check out Sailor Moon. Let me know in the chat if you think so. Joram says, Bullseye Bob, please bring us a Portland Comics Crew monthly. I would love to see that. Empire says, the weekly comic review, lost it, is how I found this channel back in 2020. Well, thank you, Empire. I really appreciate that. I love doing the weekly comic book review. That ain't never changing. I've never missed a week. I'm having wood around me. Oh, there's wood. Is it? Is that wood? Maybe it is. No, Trent and I have not watched The Last of Us yet. You know, I really got to get on the ball. I know you guys are going to be wanting to talk about Last of Us. And I need to get on the menu. Got to get on the menu. Man Cave says, I completely understand. Glad we still got you in the review game. You still got me. You got me, dog. You still got me. I ain't going nowhere. Halftime now. Chiefs up 13-6. Wow, thanks, Taki. Halftime now? Why did I think the game was just about to start? I've not paid attention. The only reason why I saw the Eagles and 49ers today is because I was at Chili's. They have this like strawberry lemonade that's made with like lemon vodka and like strawberry puree and Sprite and shit. It's hella good. It's hella good. I'm just going to say that. I'm not usually that guy to go get like cocktails at Chili's. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get a beer. They were out of IPAs. I was thinking about a margarita, and then a friend, like, you should try that lemonade. And I did, and I'm glad I did. I had two of them. It was a nice Sunday, y'all. I hope you had a great Sunday. Victor says, hi, dude. First-time listener, elapsed comic book reader. Thanks for the best of the year video. It's a good list to start reading again. Well, thank you for that, Victor. I really appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad that you found that video. I was glad it was able to provide some value to you. I have done a top 5, or a top 10 at least, I should say, of each year since 2017. So maybe you can go back and find some of those videos. Maybe we'll give you some other suggestions for things that maybe you missed out on in the years prior. One of the consistencies, though, is Ice Cream Man, and you can just see it slowly creep up and become absolutely one of my favorite books. But Victor, happy to have you here. Smile was pretty good. It's Fallen without Denzel. You didn't sell me on that one, Trade Paper Dad, to be honest with you. Ouroboros, what is up? Aw, Perry. Perry with Super Chat. Thanks so much. Maybe a mystery box giveaway. It's actually not a bad idea. And Perry, my man, thank you for the Super Chat. Let's get it going. All right, it's been a while. So let's see what we can do here, all right? Y'all ready? I need y'all help. Sing along, okay? Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nana who having sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit. Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Eve. Now he fights with the fire starter named Liz, and an ectoplasmic mess named Johann. PPRD. All right, Perry, thank you so much for the Super Chat, and more importantly than just the support and the suggestion, which I do like that idea, we'll get one set up for next week. But you gave me an opportunity to run into the other room and get what I properly needed to properly kick off the show. It's time for... First Five. All right, we're going through this 1995 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man set. We're on card... Bullshit. We're in the 90s already? Bullshit. All right, well, it's what I grabbed. You know, this is where we're at. All right, card 91. We're now in Milestones. That's Maximum Carnage right there. You got Carnage in the background, Doppelganger and Shriek in the foreground. This is by the Hildebrands. I'm a big Maximum Carnage fan, so I think that's cool. Then we got Pursuit. This was a 90s story. It was part of the Clone Saga, wasn't it, if I remember? I could be mistaken on that. Then we've got Power and Responsibility. This is definitely Clone Saga shit. This is like 1995. That's like right in the heart and peak and of the hype of the Clone Saga. Ridiculous. The Exile Returns. We covered this on Comics Revisited back in the early days where we were going through all the Venom stuff. That's a dope card. That's Vince Evans. By the way, Hildebrands on the Power and Responsibility. Robert Rodriguez on Pursuit. And then we've got Web of Life. Once again, all these milestones, they're all goddamn Clone Saga shit, right? But nice Kane right there. And that is Joe DeVito. And that has been your... First Five. All right, let's take another look at the chat, see what's up. Need to watch it after this. Episode 3. That's right. Last of Us this is going to be the damn third episode, and they're not short episodes from what I hear. Jorm says, Victor, welcome. Keep reading what you love. Rockin Robbie will help to guide interest. Thank you. Perry says, Word, I hope the show is lit. Everyone's bigging up the show right now. Hell yeah. You've got better things to do than watch Sailor Moon, I'm sure. It wouldn't be in my top whatever to recommend right now. I was just being nice. Who do you consider current GOATs in digital art? Digital art. Most artists do digital work. Now, I prefer pen on paper. That's me personally, but a lot of people do some good digital stuff. Nick Dragata does some great stuff digitally. He's able to use screen tones digitally in a way that feels very organic and real. So I'll throw him out there. I think, pretty sure Jorge Jimenez is a digital artist, and I think Jorge Jimenez is absolutely a dynamic and fantastic artist. I don't know. I think Huddleston is pen to paper. Digital. Bruno Redondo's pretty good. Yeah, I'll go with that. Nick Dragata, and not everything he does is just digital. So there's that. But yeah, Jorge Jimenez, Dan Mora. I think Dan Mora is probably digital. I don't really know. So that's what I'd say. Hey, Joe Corallo is in the house. What is up? You see Skinamarink? Have you seen Skinamarink? Skinamarink? What the fuck, Joe? How do I say that? No, I have not. Joe says, I still don't know if I liked it. I hear good things about it. I think that Bullseye Bob, was that you that sent me something about that movie? I've seen Stuckman talk about it, but I haven't checked it out yet. Worth watching, I guess, huh? Billy says Chili's has good burgers. I had a burger from Chili's today. It was okay. It's okay. Chat dropped down on me. Chili's baby back ribs. Taki, you haven't been trying that hard to get us to do Bodyguard and Purple Rain. Maybe Bodyguard. Now, Purple Rain I have on Blu-ray. I'm down to do Purple Rain. It's on you, Taki, when we do the next PCP Army movie poll. It's on you to make sure that's nominated, one of those two, and to campaign for it. See? You got to campaign for it. Purple Rain is something I would love to revisit with the fellas, though. Purple Rain. Purple Rain. The Bodyguard, I don't know. Maybe. I recently rewatched Pretty Woman, which was not a movie that I would have ever thought about rewatching because I didn't really remember liking it, you know. But I watched it and enjoyed it, and afterwards I was like, we should do a PCP movie night for Pretty Woman. So you never know. Maybe The Bodyguard is maybe it'll happen. Here's my problem. I really don't like Kevin Costner. There are things that he's in that I like, but I don't think I like Kevin Costner. Something about Kevin Costner, and it's because in a very formative time in my youth, he was making all these shit films that I was fucking forced to watch, right? Movie night with the Rents and the family, you know? Watching goddamn Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, fucking boring. Watching Waterworld, fucking boring. Watching The Postman, fucking boring. Watching Wyatt Earp, fucking boring. Watching Dances with Wolves, fucking boring. That being said, he is in my favorite baseball movie of all time. Well, Sandlot's my favorite baseball movie of all time, but he's in one of my favorite baseball movies of all time, one of my favorite sports movies of all time, Bull Durham. Bull Durham's amazing. He's in 3 pretty solid baseball films, actually, if you can count, you know, Field of Dreams and For Love of the Game, which is a Sam Raimi film. However, Bull Durham, that's my shit. That's my shit because I think I got a thing for Susan Sarandon. I mean, who would fault me? But I also got a thing for baseball. So I find Bull Durham to be a very realistic portrayal of being a minor leaguer, but I also find that movie incredibly sexy to me for some reason. It's because of baseball and Susan Sarandon. Anyway. Is it hot in here? Did he just say making fuck? Get him out of here. All right. Trying to do all of the bits tonight. Let's see. No, I have not, Man Cave. I have not checked out the Velma series. I hear it's terrible. Everybody's like trolling it, but as people are trolling it and it's like being known as being this terrible thing, it's like gaining in some traction and popularity. So like what are we trying to do here? But no, I have not checked that one out. I'm not putting that one up there on the list. I got too much right now. You still got it. Thank you. I'm getting to where I was doing the fucking Hellboy song. There you go. Steph, what is up, my man? Station. Good to see you. Are you familiar with Rasputin's story? Are we talking about Rasputin as in the Hellboy character? Then yes. Are we talking about the real Rasputin, which the Hellboy character is based on? I know just like the littlest a bit, but I've never dived deep. Oh, dum, dum. Bum, 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 bum. What is up, James? Steph, man, how you doing? Hey, OUG is in the house. Station. For your information, the new Picard Season 3 trailer is now up on YouTube. I just don't know, OUG, if I can handle Picard Season 3. I just don't know. I liked 1 enough, but I hated the ending. I did not like Season 2. I did not like Season 2. It hurt me to not like it. I did not like Season 2 at all. I thought it... No offense to anybody that likes Picard. I thought Picard Season 2 sucked. I thought it was bad. So I don't know how hype I'm going to get for Season 3. But we'll see. Man Cave just caught Season 3 of True Detective and says it was phenomenal. Trin says The Last of Us show is definitely more than worth the watch. I wish the episodes were longer. They're skipping over a lot of game content, but still doing it justice. Empire says, I watch Sailor Moon every morning while I was getting ready for school. High school. Hell yeah. Does that make you feel older? Just a little bit. Steph says, who didn't love Tuxedo Mask? Real Rasputin is nuts. Velma is awful, says Kit Cloud Kicker. Perry says, everyone coming together to hate on Velma is amazing. That's what's cool. Maybe that can heal these pop culture wars that have been going on, right? Maybe we can all be like, hey, let's just put our weapons down and just all agree that Velma sucks. So maybe that's why everybody's watching it, so they can all agree on it. And people are like, you know what? You're right. I've never seen Tuxedo Mask at all, y'all. But I'm happy for y'all. Richard Grier as Reed Richards? Who's Richard Grier? Richard Grier? Do you mean Richard Gere? Fuck no. Even liking Pretty Woman this time watching it, I still don't like Richard Gere. Nah, fuck that guy. I don't know. Something about him. Swarmy. I don't know. I don't like it. I catch bad vibes. Who nominated Surf Ninjas? That was 100% a me pick, Steph. 100% a me pick, man. That was me. Yes, I chose to do Surf Ninjas before I did Purple Rain or The Bodyguard or Do the Right Thing, which was on schedule at one point, but we had to remove it because something happened. A lot of really good, important movies out there that we're doing Surf Ninjas before. This is going to be the most important PCP movie night of all time. You just wait and see. I'm going to tell y'all this. I watched it. I rewatched it last night. So this movie, Surf Ninjas, is it 1995? Is it 4? 1993. Holy shit. Okay. 1993 movie. I ain't seen this movie since back then. I watched it last night for the first time since, in like 30 years almost. Man. I fucking loved it. I loved it. I cannot wait to have this conversation. It's going to be me. It's going to be Brooks Angelini. It's going to be Manny. It's going to be Joe Corallo. And it's going to be Greg from Bearded Comic Bro. You telling me that we ain't going to, really be able to dive into Surf Ninjas and let this movie be appreciated and explored like it's never been appreciated or explored before? I'm telling you, that's what we're doing, and that's what's happening. Bob says, it's worth the watch if you can watch it in a room with no light, pitch black, and immerse yourself. If you can watch it that way, it does the job well. That's how I had to watch House of the Dragon, because that was a really dark fucking show. Like meaning I can't see shit. OUG says, I personally want to nominate Rent for PCP Movie Night after finding out Robbie knew it. I love Rent. We have thought about doing things before, like having a musical, like fest or something, but that might be a bit too much. I'd like to do movies like Rent and Hairspray just because some of the homies probably ain't never seen them. Probably won't see them unless we do them for something like that. So maybe one day. We pretty much already have the entire year planned out. So we are doing a musical this year, though. We are doing a musical. So I am excited for that. It's not a musical that most people think of when they think of musicals. I'll give you a hint because I'll sing a couple lines from it. I'm the monster. I'm the villain. What perfection. What precision. I think I switched those up actually. Yeah. Clean incisions I deliver, unscathed organs I deliver, repossessions I deliver. You know what I'm talking about now if you know. We're doing that one. So that's going to be fun. Postman I'll give you, Waterworld no, Field of Dreams is a good one. They were just boring to me when I was a kid. They were boring as shit. Should do Lawnmower Man on PCP Movie Night. It's the greatest film of all time. I didn't like Lawnmower Man when I was a kid, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I let out some information about my thoughts on Susan Sarandon. All right, Susan Sarandon appreciation post tomorrow. Probably something from The Hunger. Then, followed up by a David Bowie appreciation post the next day. Probably something from The Hunger. The sexiest vampire movie of all time, outside of Lost Boys and Near Dark, is The Hunger. To me. What's the sexiest vampire film? Go. I'm going Hunger, Lost Boys, Near Dark. There you go. Pale Blood, Pale Blood, Pale Blood. Pale Blood is sexier than Near Dark. I just find the aesthetic of Near Dark a little. Okay. Pale Blood, Embrace of the Vampire. Is that on Blu-ray? If Embrace of the Vampire is on Blu-ray, expect to see that on PCP Movie Night before we get to fucking Purple Rain. I have. Never mind. Is it hot in here again, y'all? Jesus. Susan Sarandon, David Bowie. What's going on here? OG Hairspray, though, like the one with Ricky Lake. I love the musical, though, OUG. I do like the John Waters one, but I really, really love the musical. Steph says, Summer of Sam is my favorite Spike Lee joint. Really? My favorite might be Do the Right Thing. I haven't seen all of his films. I do like Malcolm X a lot. What else? Bamboozled? Why am I blanking on Spike Lee movies right now? Why am I blanking on Spike Lee movies? What has he done? Inside Man, of course. I've never seen that one. Mo Better Blues, that's a good one. She's Got to Have It. Okay, that's this first one, yeah. School Days. Jungle. I forgot Jungle Fever's him. Crooklyn's good. Clockers. Never seen The 25th Hour. Never seen The Five Bloods. Never seen Black Klansman. Is that one good, y'all? Rasputin was also supposedly a hypnotic healer, immune to poisons, and gosh, nuts is the right word. I'd be scared of that man. Superstition myth says he was immortal too. Yeah, they play on that in the Hellboy mythology because it is that Rasputin, and he survives. And he winds up working with Hitler for a while, for his own means though, and then goes beyond that and becomes he's the in the Hellboy story, he is the sorcerer who brings Hellboy to the earthly plane. Ooh, Phantom of the Opera? That would be a good one. Have I ever watched Tiny Toons? Frankenfrog, I was there, bruh. I used to watch Tiny Toons every afternoon. Tiny Toons, Animaniacs. Fox Kids, baby. We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony, and in this cartoony, we're invading your TV. Yep. I've seen that one with the shadow cast before. You've seen everything with the shadow cast before, Joe. Which one are you talking about? You talking about Hairbray? Hairbray? You talking about Hairbray? You talking about Hairspray? Or are you talking about the one I was singing? It's Repo the Genetic Opera. We all know that. Anyway, if you know, you know. Hey, Comic Book G-Man is here. What is up, bruh? Ricky Lake was awesome in Hairspray. I agree. Yes, Evil Face Bad. I did say a fucking musical. I love musicals. Kid Cloud Kicker says, Grease, best little whorehouse in Texas. Little Shop of Horrors and Grease 2. Oh, you like Grease 2? Innocent Blood. Man Cave. You're right. Do I have that? I have Pale Blood. Do I have Innocent Blood? I want every sexy vampire movie in existence. Send them to me now. Twilight? Pugh, Steph, get the fuck out of here. You're crazy. G-Man, The Hunger, right? The Hunger. Interview with a Vampire? All right. All right. All right. You know, I'm not trying to say I don't like Interview with the Vampire, but I haven't watched it since, like, I was a teenager, so I don't really have an affection for it. So maybe I need to rewatch that one too. But it is pretty sexy. Kinda. Not like Embrace of the Vampire. Anyway. If anyone says Twilight, they're dead to me. The one you were singing, bruh, you've seen that with a bruh, Joe, how cool. Let's hang out. I just want to go up to New York for like 6 months of every year and just hang out with Joe and fucking go see all this cool shit. OUG loves Black Klansman. Okay. Queen of the Damned, says Steph. I don't really like that one, but Catherine Deneuve, right? Deneuve was the hot one, just saying, okay, I can respect that. I can respect that, G-Man. For me, it was Susan Sarandon and David Bowie were all three of them were the hot ones, bro. Let's be honest, okay? From Dusk Till Dawn's pretty sexy in the beginning. Cat People is a sexy film. Cat People's got... Yeah. Cat's Eye is the one with Drew Barrymore. Cat People is a little sexy, but the incestual shit kind of throws that off. Lie with me like brother and sister. So what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Tie game, 13 all. Nice. Gina Davis in Transylvania, 5,000. Nice one. That one's got Jeff Goldblum in it as well. Ed Begley Jr. as well. Pet Cemetery, 1980s version, bro. That's classic. Do that, Robbie. That is a good one. I cannot believe Dylan hasn't done that one yet. Mark McGrath is here. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed. I know it's not mine, but I wonder if I use it if a weekend or a one-night stand. Anyway. Inside Man. I like the Asian remake Spike Lee did with Josh Brolin. Oh, Old Boy. Was that it? Clive Owen, Denzel. You can't go wrong with Inside Man. I've never seen Inside Man. I definitely. Bob says, I was stoked when Banshees of Inisherin was nominated for all the awards it's up for. Seriously, the best movie of the year that I saw. I'm still thinking about it 4 days after I watched it. Yeah, bro, I mean, you were talking a little bit about that, right? I love the Banshees of Inisherin. My favorite movie of 2022 that I have watched, overtaking X. Because X I just love because it's just my kind of movie. But the Banshees of Inisherin was so good in so many different levels. It was funny. It was dark. It was serious. It was dramatic. It was scary. It was thoughtful. It was a nice analogy. A nice metaphor for the Irish Civil War that was going on at the time. Great, brilliant performances. This is going to be the year for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I appreciate that. But for me, Banshees, wow. Love that movie. Yeah, I did forget to mention Innocent Blood, but I got it written down now. Just hope the MCU does not screw up the Fantastic Four movie. Story of my life. Daughters of Darkness is a good one. So is The Vampire Lovers. Those are rather sexy, I think. Shadow of the Vampire with John Malkovich. All right. Willem Dafoe's so good in that one. You don't remember the incestuous parts of cat people? Are you talking about the old school one then and not the 80s one? Because the 80s one... I mean, come on. Oh, Blade is very sexy, Helena. I would agree. Like, Blade and Blade 2, two of my favorite movies. Wish they would have done a third one. That would have been dope. But I also like Sticky Fingers as Blade. Absolutely love in Bruges. I have not seen that yet. That's one I definitely want to see, especially after watching Banshees of Inisherin. Fright Night Part 2. You know, and I know what's sexy about Fright Night Part 2? The vampire on the fucking roller skates. There's this moment where he's just like mesmerizingly skating towards the camera in slow motion. Pretty hot. Captain Kronos. Station 2 Gun. You're going to be very pleased with the PCP Horror Fest lineup. Let's just say that. A weed-smoking vampire hunter filmed by Hammer in the 70s. Very pumped. I love that movie. The one Megan Fox where she's like a demon, you talking about Jennifer's Blood? Or are you talking about like a new one? She's in some newer vampire movie. There are worse things out tonight than vampires. Like what? Like me. See, that's the problem with the world. Some motherfuckers always want to ice skate uphill. Blade and Blade 2 coming up soon. You're right, OUG. Gina Davis in anything, though. You're right about that. Ouroboros is going to start listening to Sugar Ray again. Hell yeah. Hellraiser is sexy. Evil, I was just talking about that shit the other day, literally. I was explaining to someone how sexy Hellraiser was to me. I'm going to need Brendan Fraser to win the Oscar, though. I haven't seen The Whale. It seems like it's too try-hard. Eddie Murphy and Vampire in Brooklyn? Okay. Nah, trade paper, Dad. There was never a Blade 3. It would be cool, though. They could have Dracula in it. They could call it Blade Trinity. They could even put one of my favorite actors in there, Parker Posey. That would be fucking awesome. If they made a movie like that, there'd be no way that it would be fucking trash. So trash that I refuse to admit that it happened. There's no way that's going to happen. Right? Anyway, DC's got books out this week. Not a lot of them because they're special. They release them on Tuesday. So it's like a fifth week for them. So there's barely anything out. However, this is your DC sneak peek. First up, we've got Power. DC Power. This is an anthology, a celebration of Black History Month. So it is a bunch of Black creators and a bunch of Black characters. So you got... For the most part, they were pretty good. My favorite was the first story. It's by Evan Narcisse and Daryl Banks. Daryl Banks, fantastic artist who was the Green Lantern artist during the Kyle Rayner era. A character called Amazing Man, which is a black superhero from the DC Golden Age that I never knew about. So there's that. There's a Black Lightning story that was pretty decent. There's a John Stewart story by Brandon Thomas and Nacha Bustos that I really liked. Really liked the art in that as well. There was an Aquaman and Kid Flash story. It was okay. There's a Cyborg story by, is it Morgan Freeman? No. God damn it, no. Morgan Hampton. God damn it, Robbie. Morgan Hampton, and he's the new writer on the ongoing Cyborg book launching, so that's cool. There's a Vixen Black Manta story in here that I like the artwork and thought the story's pretty cool. There is a I Am Batman story by John Ridley with black and white artwork right there from Oliver Copiel that I absolutely thought was really solid. And then at the end, there's a Far Sector story with the Far Sector team. But all in all, it was pretty cool. It's a light week for DC this week. If you like celebrating black characters and black creators, especially for Black History Month, this is definitely going to be the book for you. Then we've got Batman Legends of Gotham. It's a one-shot, $6 one-shot. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Not worth $6. But it is a solid, self-contained, one-and-done story. It is basically kind of like a coda to some of the recent Outsider-type stuff, but it is Batman's gone, out of the Batcave, Red Hood breaks in trying to find his old motorcycle or something, and Black Lightning and Katana are there, and they take Red Hood on a mission where they try to find, so all this information that Leviathan had, this one database of all this wealth of spy organization and government information, all of it's there being auctioned off to somebody. It goes to, by the end of it, a very threatening menace, a very menacing threat. And so I liked that. I thought it was cool. It was all right, but definitely not worth $6 for me. Then we got Lazarus Planet Legends Reborn, issue number 1. This one was all right. Last week's Lazarus Planet was more my line, more in my cup of tea, but this one did have a really cool Renee Montoya question story that I really liked, so I appreciated that. There's a Raven and Beast Boy story in here written by Alex Packnadell that I liked, and then the rest of the stories were just kind of okay. Nothing really standing out. Lazarus Planet's kind of acting, oh, there's a new character, Street Kid or something. That was decent enough, actually. City Boy. And then there's a Firestorm. Yeah, so basically, Lazarus Planet is kind of presenting itself as an opportunity to kind of reestablish the status quo for some things going forward in Dawn of DC. So there's lots of little trinkets in here about what's to come, but it doesn't feel... none of it feels connected. It just all, like Marvel does Timeless. It feels like DC's doing like 6 Timeless one-shots back to back, and that's kind of shitty. And then we got The Flash, the 1 Minute War special. The Flash has been really good. Jeremy Adams has been doing a fantastic job with The Flash, making it a very consistent book that's grounded in old school superheroics. Yeah, I said that right. And the 1 Minute War is about this alien race that can move at like super light speeds, right? So they can basically dismantle a civilization in 1 minute. They can take over an entire world in 1 minute, but they show up in a world with the Flashes. So they already had the initial setup in the pages of Flash, and what this is it does have a couple stories that just kind of tease little things here and there, but the origins of this alien race, how they came about this technology, who they are, why they're there, that is all in here. So if you're reading Flash and like it, definitely want to check that out. So to recap, Flash 1 Minute War was worth it for Flash readers. Lazarus Planet fell for me a little bit this week, but it was still solid. Batman Legends of Gotham was really good, but not worth the price tag. But DC Power was worth the price tag because there's a lot of content there for $10. And this has been your DC Sneak Peek. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, Marvel in the 90s. Some special treats. And Batman here on Rockin Robbie Live.
Hey there, everyone. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. Pretty sure everyone's going to be here. Robbie, Rex, John, hopefully. I'll come in if I feel like it, and Nick's definitely going to pop in at some point. But we're going to have all your favorites. Commission cover art, Dynamite books, Marvel, DC, all that you can think of. It's going to be a good show regardless, and if we get enough viewers, we'll throw in a giveaway. Don't tell Nick. So come join us. Remember, it's The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6. Just remember that. 6. Can't wait to see it.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am your host, Rockin Robbie. Station, pop, pop, boom. We've already had such a great, fantastic show tonight. Some great conversation, and we just did the DC sneak peek. Coming up, we got Marvel in the 90s, and we got Batman. But this show, even though we got some plans, it's driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So what do you want to talk about? Throw it out in the chat right now. You can support us at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. What that does is it unlocks early access to the weekly comic book review, to the weekly pop culture wrap-up in a downloadable audio file, available hours before the video drops. In fact, in the case of the wrap-up, the very day before. So that's a little bit of extra bonus material or something like that, and you can help support us there monthly. You can also support us with a super chat, which will trigger a Hellboy video, and I am back in that groove. We had that song already, and I'm ready to tackle it again. However, all the support we need is a like, a share, and a subscribe. We really do appreciate everything. You can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group where you'll be able to interact with many of us in the excitable PCP crew. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can save 10% at DynamicForces.com with code Robbie, and you can get $15 in store credit for new accounts at whatnot.com/invite/TheRockinRobbie. All those links in the descriptions down below. We also have PCP mystery boxes right now available. Only 10 available. They are $30. That includes shipping. If you are interested, email me at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com. I'll send you an invoice. You pay it. And then we have mystery boxes to send you. Lots of cool stuff. Comics, cards, trinkets, all kinds of fun little things, including original artwork from Rockin Robbie. That's right. I'm actually going to be giving away some of my cartoonist Kayfabe-tober pieces. So that's exciting. Tomorrow on PCP Movie Night. Join us for Surf Ninjas. All roads have led to this. This will be the absolute most important show that we've ever done on Pop Culture Philosophers. But right before that and after the show over at the EXP with me and Dynamic Forces, be sure to check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns as he tackles the Terminator. And Saturday night, we're going to be talking about Smile on Dylan's Horror Show. I haven't seen that one yet. Very excited to check it out and to talk about it. And I see that Jelani is in the chat station. Do check out Go Figure Reviews. We got Two Gun Pedro just shared out the link to Jelani and Brooks's channel where they talk about action figures. And I was just on a recent episode. Apparently, we went longer than they typically do. That's what happens when you have Rockin Robbie live. That's what happens when you have Rockin Robbie on your stream. I called myself Rockin Robbie live. Damn it, Davey, this influenced me. Anyway, it was a great one, though, because we talked about the Masterverse Motu movie figures for He-Man and Skeletor, and we had a great conversation, good time hanging out. We're going to be doing another one for Too Bad. Jelani, I've been looking at the schedule. I think I got a date figured out. I'll let you know personally. So how is everybody doing? Let me go up in the chat real quick. OUG says, I read Lazarus. I loved the Question story and the Raven story. Thought the City Boy could be interesting, and the Firestorm story was kind of boring for me. Reverse Amoeba says, Jeremy Adams wrote the new Super Sons animated movie on HBO Max. Good stuff. Oh, I have to check that out. We got Nick from Comic Culture. What is up? By the way, we just did the first monthly comic book panel for 2023 last Thursday. Nick was there. I was there. Greg from Bearded Comic Bro was there. Manny was there from Nerdtastic News, and Brian from PCP. So it was a great conversation. Man Cave Station. I think I saw that Bob had to dip out too, so Station Bob. We'll get back to some Kung Fu movies at some point. Who was that dude that said he was Rockin' Robbie? That's my buddy Davey. He works with me at the shop. He was wearing my jacket, my hat, my glasses, and decided to film that bit on his own, and he sent it to me, and I was like, hey, I'm going to use that on Rockin' Robbie Live. He said, please do, but plug my Instagram account. So follow him at Of Alien Descent. I don't know if there's some underscores there or something. There might be, but it's Of Alien Descent. So there you go. Faux Robbie. Perry says, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles is peak Terminator content. That is all. Really? I only read watched the first episodes of that, and it was just kind of... Jelani says, got a comment on our Masterverse video that we cursed too much and that we stole our name. I laughed for hours and deleted that dude. Well, you don't need to delete everybody that leaves you a bad comment, but welcome to YouTube, Jelani. OUG says, I feel like such a dork. I've tried to find the Facebook group, but to no avail. There is a link, a direct link in the description below. All of our videos. So you should be able to find it there, OUG. I hope so. Some people say it's hard to find. It's a private group. I don't know if at the time, I was like, yeah, it's a private group. Right? I don't know. It's a private group, right? But maybe I need to make it a public group or something. And in fact, if someone could throw out a link right now in the chat, that would be perfect. I see lots of blue wrenches. Earn those blue wrenches, gentlemen and ladies. I don't know if we have any women moderators. We do now. Boom. OUG, you're a moderator. Bam. There you go. Station, thank you for the support. Thank you, Steph. Steph just threw out the group link to the PCP Army. We have a lot of fun there. You know, the Facebook algorithm is fucked, but, you know, we still have a lot of fun. And if you have fun there with what little bit you see, be sure to actually go to the page sometime and check it out. Perry says, bad comics are great for the algorithm. Ha-ha, the more the hate, the better. Thank you, Steph. You're a dream. Jelani says, I am a mod in title only. Yeah. OUG, that is a lot of responsibility. So I don't want to see you abuse it. I don't want you to be like Steph and just try to like block anybody who pisses him off. I'm just kidding, Steph. Jelani does that though. Jelani does that. He just told us he does it on his channel. All right. Before we get into Marvel in the 90s, we got some treats. All right. Mike the Voice Matthews, dream that he is, always gives me nice, fun snacks. And for Christmas, he got me some snacks, and I've been holding on to these things so I can try them for y'all here live. So these are potato chips, or my bad, potato crisps from Great Britain. So their Lay's brand, I guess, is called Walkers. And I got 3 bags to try. And I'm starting with the one that I'm the least looking forward to, which is the prawn cocktail. My bad. It's the Supreme Prawn Cocktail. They do mark on the back that they are suitable for vegetarians. I appreciate that. Some see potatoes. We see potential. Bursting with more flavor, Supreme Prawn Cocktails. 100% Great British potatoes. When you look at a potato, what do you see? Probably just a potato, right? Well, in 1948, Henry Walker saw potential. Potential's real big and gold. With a bite of positivity, he turned his humble spuds into irresistible Walker's crisps. Since then, our crisps have been providing moments of delicious crunchiness with smiles to everyone in Britain every day. So when life gives you potatoes, make crisps. Did you know we use sustainably sourced British potatoes? 100% quality ingredients. Fresh taste guaranteed. No added MSG, artificial colors, or preservatives. This sounds fucking gross. Prawn cocktail. We're going to try them. Yeah, I think you might be, OUG. Sorry. You broke that ceiling for us. Thank you. Chiefs are up 2013. Bengals just recovered a fumble. Oh, these smell so fucking nasty. Yeah, where is Mark? Probably sleeping. It's like 3 a.m. there. Oh! Oh! No! Oh! No. Bruh. God, that's so gross. Oh my God. It's like vinegary, and I hate like salt and vinegar chips. Then it tastes like fucking shrimp, which I like shrimp. That's terrible. I don't even want to try another one. That was bad. God damn. You made a chip. Congratulations. I don't know. A half of you dig. That was fucking terrible. God damn. Ugh. Jesus Christ. That's why I did it first, y'all. Ah. Oh, it's on my lips. Guys, that was so nasty. Oh my goodness, y'all. That was so fucking gross. I had the prawn cocktail before. My sister brought them back from Scotland. What did you fucking think about it? Yeah, they're awful. They fucking are. As soon as it hit my fucking tongue, it was just like the most fucking horrid thing. Oh my God, that's so fucking nasty. Jesus. Ugh. Breaking through that glass ceiling. Oh yeah. Prawn dip, let's be honest, we knew it was going to be gross, yeah. British potatoes with shrimp dust. You're right, Don Daly. It's fucking fish food. It tastes like vinegar and fish food. Ugh. Thank you, Jacques. Now you know. No. They get adventurous over there with their crisps. Maybe overly so. I mean, I don't know. There's some Japanese chips that I would like be like, I don't think we need that one. I did not want to warn you. No, I need to. Whew. No, I got beer. I got beer to wash it down with. That's just nasty as fuck. Oh, that was so gross. Thanks, Mike. That was so nasty. I'm gonna take the remnants to work tomorrow and try to get people to try them, and they're not. And you know who I know is not going to try this at work tomorrow, but definitely should? I'm going to try my damnedest.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
Of alien descent. Check him out on Instagram. Anyway. Ugh. That was so fucking nasty. I got to recoup. All right, guys. Throw some questions out there. Jelani says 1, you dig. I went 0.5. I'll go less. Ugh. Still in my teeth? Y'all know me. Even on things I don't like, I try a second bite or I would try a second chip. Fuck that. No. What if I was wrong initially? First and goal Bengals? Oh shit, Twitch. Y'all, I'm trying to convince myself to eat a second one to see. Should I do it? Fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm gonna eat a second one just to double check. I got to, right? I gotta learn my lessons from Verno. I'll get a smaller one though. No. Oh God. Nope. Oh, it's like sweet vinegar fish food. Like ketchup. It feels like ketchup. That's the cocktail. Ugh. That's so fucking gross. Why did I do it again? The Eagles are going to... Fuck. I'm sorry. The next two sound good to me. So, we'll get there when we get there. $10 if you finish the bag. Nope. Sorry, can't do it. No. Twitch, you know me. I'll do a lot for a super chat. I will not eat any more of them goddamn chips. I can't do it. That's so gross. So gross. Not for $10. No. Gross as fuck. Ugh. Like instantaneously they're gross. It's not even like one of those ones that no. You have to Van Damme this to be like, nah, those are some awesome chips. Try them. Lars says, I am sorry, but there are no Marvel titles worth mentioning in the 90s. Not trying to provoke or insult, just your opinion. Your opinion's fine. I disagree wholeheartedly. What about Kurt Busiek and George Perez on Avengers? What about Marvels by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross? Those are pretty solid books from Marvel in the 90s. But one of the reasons why we love doing Marvel in the 90s is because we know that Marvel doesn't have too much great stuff from the 90s, but we like to have fun with it because we have a sense of nostalgia about it. However, I understand what you're saying. But Marvel's, Avengers, early Thunderbolts, let me think. Untold Tales of Spider-Man. All of my favorite 90s books are fucking Kurt Busiek and Mark Waid, because Mark Waid's Captain America run. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Twitch says Ghost Rider in the 90s is the jam. That's a good one, yeah. When is the next PCP movie poll? I like suggesting random movies. Two Gun, it's going to be in April, I believe, or the beginning of May. We'll do the poll right before we do... We'll do the poll right before we do Crew's Choice. So we start with Audience Choice, then go into Crew's Choice. So it should be, I believe, the last week in April or the beginning of May. And I saw you mention it, more like Frown Cocktail. You're right. That stuff's so gross. So, I saw you mention the Action Fest poll. I don't think there's going to be an Action Fest poll this year because I removed a week from Action Fest to add a week to Horror Fest. And I don't think you're going to be upset about that. So, yeah, New Warriors, Kadazzle. I love New Warriors. Marmite or Vegemite? Yeah, I've never actually tried that. I'd like to. Someone wants to send me some Vegemite. He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich or something like that, right? Here we come from the land down. It's all I know about Australia. Giant spiders, the Sydney Opera House, Crocodile Dundee, and fucking Vegemite. And Hugh Jackman. There should be a Joe's Pick poll again this year. Joe, I would say I agree with you because people really like our Satan's Little Helper. And in fact, less than a year after our Satan's Little Helper review, Satan's Little Helper got a physical media Blu-ray release. Coincidence? I think not. So maybe we actually should. And kangaroos and koala bears. So maybe we should. I kind of already got it figured out, though. But we need to do another... damn, actually, I got to give Joe a pick. Oh, I got to look at the whole slate now. I think I'm going to give you a pick for Crew's Choice. Silver Surfer in the 90s was awesome. Hey, there's Mike right there. I have Vegemite for you tomorrow. Okay, I can have Vegemite for you tomorrow. All right, Mike is like John Goodman and Big Lebowski. What, you want a toe? I can get you a fucking toe tomorrow. Right? Like, that's no big deal. You need Vegemite? I'll get you that. Mike, did you see my reaction on those fucking prawn cocktail chips? Bro, those fucking suck. Thanks for the Christmas present. Oh, God. Still in there. Blah. Excellent. Yes, you get a pick. 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 Everybody gets a pick. All right. Hey, what's up, Jay? You know what would be a good book? Captain Planet. I'll remind you tomorrow. Maybe you can put that idea out to Nick. Just got to work and hopped on. Man, I'll tell you what, Jay. I was actually talking to Nick earlier today. I should have brought up the Captain Planet thing, bruh. Like, man, I need you to get the rights to Captain Planet, and I need you to put David Pepose on that book because he's talked to me about his love of Captain Planet, and it will be amazing. It'll be amazing. And then maybe we could get a Darkwing Duck Captain Planet crossover. How cool would that be? And you have to watch the video of Hugh Jackman showing you how to eat Vegemite. Okay, I'll watch that video. Let me write. Tomorrow morning I'll be like, Hugh Jackman Vegemite? What? What does that even mean? Does he have a flavor of Vegemite? Is there a Hugh Jackman flavor? Mike says, yeah, reaction was priceless. All right. Speaking of Marvel in the 90s, it's time for Marvel in the 90s. So let's get into Marvel in the 90s. All right, we've been doing all this image stuff. So let's get back to Marvel in the 90s, where all of this jam started. And let's talk about Extinction Agenda Part 1, only going through issue by issue. That's what we're going to be doing for Extinction Agenda. I have read this at some point in my life, but rereading this, I don't remember shit. I remember more of the X-Men animated series adaptation of this story, their version of it. Extinction Agenda is the Genosha story, the big one, right? Where they come in and they kidnapped the X-Men, take them to Genosha. Big crossover between X-Factor, I believe, New Mutants, and Uncanny X-Men. Written by Chris Claremont, penciled by Jim Lee, inking by Art T. Bear and Scott Williams. And then you got Glynis Oliver as the colorist. Fantastic colors in some of this. Some interesting choices. Sometimes it feels muddy, but for the most part, I like it. And then it says Task Force X as the letterer. So I guess this is when Tom Orzechowski was maybe stretched too thin, had people helping him out or something like that. I don't know. Let's get into it. This is it's a very weird time for the X-Men. Storm is a kid. Jean Grey had just been mysteriously resurrected from the dead, having returned into in like Fantastic Four that all led into X-Factor's launch. And then you got the New Mutants at this time that Rob Liefeld was revitalizing and introduced the Cable character. And we're not to Deadpool yet, but all of that is coming to a head here. So one thing I want to point out, what greatness it is to see Jim Lee do Cable. I think that's awesome. But this is also the point when the X-Men team was mainly focused on like Banshee and Forge. It was really interesting. So we get this whole report right here, just letting everybody know that, yeah, Genosha has just made this statement that they are anti the X-Men. They want the U.S.'s help to extradite them or something. So we know that Genosha, who is an incredibly mutant-hating nation, has a hard-on for the X-Men, right? Then we go, and what you're seeing here are the new digitally reproduced, like these colors are fine, but they look way better on the newsprint, in my opinion. Y'all know how I feel, so let's just go ahead and talk about this. So you got Jean Grey and Storm, one recently returned from the seemingly dead, one de-aged and repowered and still trying to find her footing, and they're in a danger room scenario. And then we have Stevie there. I know Stevie, but I don't really know too much of her whole vibe. But her, Banshee, and Forge are kind of watching this play out. Seems like Jean's got the upper hand, but Storm is starting to crank up that power and starting to kind of take over the fight, right? Meanwhile, Stevie's telling Forge and Banshee, don't push her too hard. She's in a young body. She's not used to this stress. Meanwhile, Richter's outside. He's like, yo, can we get some X-Force? Oh, my bad, it's not X-Force yet. Can we get some New Mutants time in the danger room? And they're like, yo, you got to wait. And then as it's going on, they decide to pull the plug. Storm has exerted herself too much. She's falling to the ground. Jean saves her. Stevie's like, I told you, motherfuckers. And then Cable just busts up in this place and says, yo, the New Mutants are here, and we need this room to train. Cable's very militant. You know what I'm saying? He's very, very disciplined, and he's very much trying to bring that discipline into this ragtag group of New Mutants. And I appreciate that, because in the stories, as we've been covering, because we are going through Rob Liefeld's New Mutants run, and the reason why we're doing Extinction Agenda is because now it's become a part of that run, right? And it's going to be cool when we get to revisit this all together, if I can clip it all out eventually. But the New Mutants are in residence at the X Mansion, so they're kind of being put upon, right? And that's the kind of vibe that's going on right now between Banshee and Cable. By the way, for some reason, Glynis decides that Cable has Reed Richards, Nick Fury hair, but I think he's still supposed to be full. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Storm is still badass. Let's cut to Strong Guy. Strong Guy trying to keep this chick or this dude away from Dazzler. What's that related to? I don't know, but I like seeing the Guido stuff, and so that was nice. Just a little bit of stuff setting up things to come. A new character, or not a new character, but a returning character right here, Lila Shaney. Then we cut to a bar or a restaurant, and Jean and Storm are talking about all the changes. And yes, it's Chris Claremont. Lots of talking. There's even a moment here where Jean says something like, it's almost like I'm being paid per word. And that's something that people have said about Chris Claremont. Meanwhile, at the bottom, we see the beginnings of something. Some people are spying on the X-Men. They're spying on them for nefarious purposes. Well, we'll find out what that's all about. Then, as soon as they get back to the mansion, Wolfsbane decides that she's going to weird the stretch out of Storm and just come at her and be like, Doug just died and nobody cares, and you X-Men just die and come back and everybody acts like it's fine, but where's Doug? And so it's a lot of emo melodrama that's going on right there, but it makes Storm question herself, because she has been the leader of the X-Men and she's led them through a very rough time, and now she's questioning herself because of this reaction from Reign, from the New Mutants, and just because of her lack of ability, right? But then, in the midst of just some chill time, the Genosians show up, and this is where Jim Lee really starts shining. And speaking of shining, can I just mention how much I love Boom Boom? Boom Boom is down there in that central bottom panel, and Jim Lee knows how to draw Boom Boom. And I love her so much, have since I was a kid. No mystery why. And there's some sexy women and sexy people in Jim Lee's comics, okay? But I love Boom Boom, and that's one of the reasons why I really responded to the Exterminators books. So pop, pop, boom, boom, you know what I'm saying? But these dudes show up. They got that typical Jim Lee kind of flair and look about them. Like I said, sexy people being surrounded by these militant groups. I think I missed a page or two. No, there's the page right there. Yeah, the double page spread. This is one of the best, most dynamic pages in the entire issue, and the way that it looks on screen is not what it looks like on the newsprint, and holy cow, the difference is insane. Then Storm's taking care of business. Banshee and Forge and some of the other New Mutants, they're trying to escape. They're trying to get out of there. They're being attacked. Boom Boom's holding her own, but her and Richter get captured, and eventually the same thing's going to happen with Storm. Nowadays, they're doing some work with Storm, and I've heard people say things like, Storm is so badass now. You know what I'm saying? And, bruh, she was badass then. She's like in a 12-year-old body, grabbing a goddamn just razor, like a rifle blaster, just going to town. But she does eventually get kidnapped. And so Cable and Forge and Banshee and other members of the New Mutants show up, and Storm's gone, Boom Boom's gone, Richter's gone, and they have been kidnapped and taken away through Genosha. So it's actually not too bad of a first chapter of the Extinction Agenda story. The artwork was fine. Now, there is a bit of a, I wouldn't say it's an inconsistency, but having T-Bear and Williams do the artwork, I would prefer just Williams. I like Art T-Bear, but he's not my favorite inker on Jim Lee. He's not my favorite inker on Mark Bagley, but I think he does a better job on Mark Bagley. But I like the book. I thought it was fine. It was a nice revisit. It is long-winded. It is Chris Claremont. It does do what it does. But I like the artwork. I like the story. It was cool to kind of... Chris Claremont was always able to really do a great job of making any comic, in the Jim Shooter era in particular, and I think we're already in DeFalco at this point. Yeah, we're at Tom DeFalco, editor-in-chief. He's going to be at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. But they were carrying over this idea that any comic could be somebody's first. And especially if it's the first part of a big crossover, you definitely need to have it be introducing concepts, letting new readers know where we are. And me, I guess, being familiar enough with the X-Men, jumped right in. I knew where we were in Storm's journey. I knew where we were in Jean's journey, and the X-Men and the New Mutants, and it works. Now, I think the coloring comes across way better here on the newsprint because they knew what they were doing. They were coloring it on purpose. See, that's not such a bright, gaudy blue, but it's a little bit more subdued, a little bit more purpley, and it makes those reds and magentas really, really pop, those pinks. But I really did like it. And Chris Claremont, yes, there's a lot of words here. And today, Chris Claremont's writing is very verbose, but it's also very stagnant and stiff. As verbose as this is, it doesn't feel messed up in pace whatsoever. It is still nicely, briskly paced. Orzechowski and his influence on the X-Men lettering has a lot to do with that, but it's not just like big chunks of words. It's natural dialogue done in a melodramatic soap opera way. This is the most probably just verbose page. Where's that line? Trying to find it, where she's like, you would think I'm getting paid. Yeah, I tell you, Aurora, the harder we try to untangle this mess, the tighter it seems I'm tied to it. But listen to me, natter, natter, natter. The way I'm running on, you think I was being paid by the word. Look at that Splatterhouse ad. That was a dope video game. TurboGrafx 16. Look at the coloring there. Look at the subtlety that comes across in those colors. Look at Boom Boom right there. Pop, pop. Boom, boom. Look at Boom Boom there. God damn it. Why am I thirsty for Boom Boom? But here, look at that, y'all. Colors on that look so much better than on that digital one. I love these comics. That's where Boom Boom and Richter get... Look at how badass Storm is right there. But I have a old school trade paperback of this, but I love seeing the newsprint colors, so I'm definitely going to try to be getting these issue to issue. Smells great. So I really liked this issue. I thought it was good. It did the job. It did what it was supposed to do. Started us into Extinction Agenda. Just a little bit of story, but a lot of story that caught me up. It got me interested in the characters and the world and what was going on. I'm going to give it 4 ya digs. What do you think about Extinction Agenda Chapter 1, which is X-Men Uncanny 270? Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, T-Bear, and Williams. What do you think? And this has been Marvel in the 90s. All right. I want to see your comments about what you think about Extinction Agenda. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about those comments. We're going to do Batman, a little bit of show and tell, and more here on the one and the only Rockin Robbie Live.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't playing no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey there, everyone. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. Pretty sure everyone's going to be here. Robbie, Rex, John, hopefully. I'll come in if I feel like it, and Nick's definitely going to pop in at some point. But we're going to have all your favorites. Commission cover art, Dynamite books, Marvel, DC, all that you can think of. It's going to be a good show regardless, and if we get enough viewers, we'll throw in a giveaway. Don't tell Nick. So come join us. Remember, it's The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6. Just remember that. 6. Can't wait to see it.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am your host, Rockin Robbie. We've had a great time already tonight. We did the DC sneak peek. We talked about a myriad of other things. I tried these terrible-ass potato chips from Great Britain, and we just did Marvel in the 90s. I'm about to get to your comments on Extinction Agenda Chapter 1 from Uncanny X-Men 270. But I do want to say you can support us on patreon.com/PCP or with a super chat here tonight. And these are our patrons right there. Thank you so much for the continued support. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, make it official. Join the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, the PCP Army. You can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com, as well as links to our merch site where we have a great selection of t-shirts. You can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can get $15 in Whatnot credit at whatnot.com/invite/the Rockin Robbie. And you can save 10% on all orders at dynamicforces.com with the code Robbie. Code's just Robbie, but I want it to pop up there. All right. We also got PCP mystery boxes now available. There are only 10. They are $30. That includes shipping. They are going to contain comic books, graphic novels, trading cards, little trinkets, and a piece of original artwork from me, Rockin Robbie. If you are interested, email me at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com. I'll send you an invoice. You pay it, and then we get mystery boxes sent out to you. Tomorrow night, all roads have led to this, the most important PCP movie night in the history of PCP movie night. It is Surf Ninjas. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time on the channel. But before that, do check out my show over at the EXP with Dynamic Forces. And then in between, check out Scarpad, Sci-Fi Sojourns, The Terminator, making a great triple feature for Monday. And then join us for Dylan's Horror Show on Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for Smile, a 2022 horror film that I have not seen yet. So I'm excited to check it out. So let me look at the comments while we were doing Marvel in the 90s. Here we go. I want SWAT Cats to make a comeback. I just heard something about Biker Mice from Mars getting a comeback. So maybe SWAT Cats will. Talking about a few Marvel titles compared to DC's Vertigo, Paradox, Helix, and the ordinary DC titles. Lars, I will definitely agree with you that DC was stronger as far as content goes in the 90s. 100%. Vertigo alone. OUG says, Robbie, I barely remember what I read 2 weeks ago, so don't worry about it too much. Don says, that's a great cover with the X-Men logo being busted by Havoc. Absolutely. I just realized I got a newsstand edition. Have a monster of a good time. Yeah, and Havoc, that's one thing I forgot to mention, is that Havoc was one of the people sent after him. A lot of detail in the artwork. Jim Lee doesn't do that as much anymore. Maybe that's why he had 2 inkers. Loved him and Wolfsbane on Peter David's X Factor. I agree with you, Steph. Jim Lee draws sexy people. Boom Boom. Is that what we're calling it now? The thirst was real back then, and it's real today, too, Jacques. Trust me. Boom Boom, Boomer, Meltdown, now Boom Boom again. Boom Boom's the best one. Pop, pop, boom, boom, man. Anybody ever seen a Boom Boom cosplayer? I probably couldn't handle it. Things to write down. People Robbie find are very hot. Susan Sarandon, David Bowie, and Boom Boom. I mean, that skill. She's fighting them all in a bikini. Right on, girl. You know it. Trey Paper Dad says, love the Extinction Agenda. Have all the issues. Lars says, my favorite Chris Claremont series are Murata, the She-Wolf, and the Black Dragon, both drawn by John Bolton. His worst, Sovereign 7. Sovereign 7 is bad. I haven't checked out the John Bolton stuff, but I'm a big fan of Bolton's work, so I definitely want to check those out. Murata. Black Dragon. Never heard of him, actually. Claremont. Bolton. Cool. I love the notes that I take during a Rockin' Robbie Live, because it's not just, this is where I get to receive from y'all great recommendations about shit. Two Gun Pedro says, I have the hardcover of Extinction Agenda. Love it. OUG says, it's not like he's wordy back then without good pacing. He had it. It's not like Dark Knight Returns, where it's like the infinite jest of comics with the density. Young lady, I just gave you mod power. I can take that back if you continue to besmirch Frank Miller's wordiness. I think Frank Miller can be wordy, but I don't feel like it has a pacing issue. I don't feel like Dark Knight Returns has a pacing issue. I think Frank Miller understands how to pace a comic better than Chris Claremont, to be honest. Why? Because Chris Claremont's not a fucking artist. And apparently you touched a nerve, and that's okay. But I respect your opinion. I apparently feel very strongly against it, but that's okay. You're still going to be a mod. Man, that got me going. Whew. Oh, the song slaps. Thank you, Mickey. Mikey, God damn it. Sorry. Big Llama, what's up? Oh, yeah, it's Nefex. How's it supposed to feel? Jelani, I think, shared it there. Perry says, word, I'm so high and I'm jamming to this so heavy. My bass is kicking. I ain't talking fish. Hey, what's up, Go Flow? What up, Robbie? Extinction Agenda was never one of my favorite X-Men stories, but I appreciate it for what it is. 4 out of 5 feels like a fair score for me. Well, that's at least on the first chapter. I don't feel like it's going to be like that by, less, you know what I'm saying? Why you got it? I love the book GCPD by DC. Me too, love it. Surf Ninjas, Felipe. Surf fucking Ninjas. God, I'm so ready for it. Andy, what's up? Will the X-Men ever go back to this art style and story? I will be honest. I do think that Hoxpox gave me the feeling of some of these milestone moments in X-Men. I just don't think the follow-up's been very good. That being said, Sins of Sinister was pretty decent. So maybe it's time to jump back into the X-Men. Now that they got Gillen there, maybe Gillen's got a fucking plan and they're following that. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I know plenty of people like the X-Men. What are the best X-Men books right now for those of you that still like the X-Men? Felipe says, Gambit escape scene from the Extinction Agenda is the best. We'll get there. We're going to go issue by issue. 2:30 remaining. Bengals getting ball on their own 7. Game still tied. Damn, Twitch. That's getting to it. Twitch, I know, has been a big fan still of the X-Men books. Says, Immortal and Red are easily the best. Well, here's the thing. Right now, I was decently enough impressed with Sins of Sinister. Plus, I just read an entire miniseries from the X-Office right now that I enjoyed immensely all the way through, from a writer I typically don't like, featuring one of my favorite characters, Boom Boom, with Exterminators. So with the shine of Exterminators on me, and me being pretty interested in what's going on in Sins of Sinister, we'll see what happens. OUG says, Dark Knight Returns wasn't horrible. Still liked it. It just took forever to read. You are right about that. The difference being, when I buy one of these, I want it to be a certain kind of experience. And the thing is, we want comics to feel like they were worth the money we dropped on them, right? So we want them to be kind of an involved experience. We want to be able to have the story be dense. But also, we don't want to feel bored, right? Now, I don't think Dark Knight Returns is boring necessarily, but it has moments. And so did this issue. It had some moments maybe where it veered on the edge of boring, but the pacing was there. And that's the thing. We chatted about this when we had Dan Waters on. It's not the amount of words. It's how you use them, right? Dan uses some verbosity in his writing. So does Rom V. So does Alex Packnadell. So does Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, Neil Gaiman. Those are wordy-ass motherfuckers, okay? But the pacing is there. Now, Frank Miller in particular because he's an artist and a writer. And that's why Frank Miller's one of those dudes who very early on decided, I'm doing it all, as much of all of it as I can. And he has some great partners. Klaus Janson at times on inks, Lynn Varley at times on colors. Frank has worked with some really great people. He's had some great partnerships. I've met Klaus. Klaus is awesome. I love Klaus Janson so much. Dark Knight Returns, but just in general, Frank Miller is really interested in the control of pace. And in 1986, when Dark Knight Returns was being released, he had already been absorbing Eastern comics with like manga, like Lone Wolf in particular. He had been getting into European comics, like Mobius had that influence in Ronin, which I think Ronin is masterclass Frank Miller for me. And Dark Knight Returns is a little bit more commercial, but he's still trying to play with pacing more so than some of these other writers have. More so than Morrison, Gaiman, Moore. That being said, they are verbose, but they know how to script in a way. And they also get to work with great artists. Frank has to do it all on his own. One of the things I love about Frank is he cares so much. Like Dark Knight Returns, he's experimenting with density. And then something like Sin City, he's experimenting. Actually, with Sin City, he's kind of trying to be dense and very loose in other parts. So that's why I think some of his best Sin City work, which I think is Dame to Kill For, Big Fat Kill, and Family Values, just the flow of those books where some pages are so rich and you dwell and linger on them, even though they're just anchored by one image. And then other moments are just like boom, 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 boom. But then they have this added quality where you go to it and just Sin City, Big Fat Kill, Dame to Kill For, Family Values. That's the best you will ever, I think, see Frank Miller pace and execute a comic. Rant over. Felipe says, I think Immortal is good, but it is too wordy. Interfacer, the Inferno Omnibus. Joram says, I liked both DK2 and DK3 Master Race. It was entertaining for me and my group of friends at that time. I really love the first chapter of Dark Knight Strikes Again, DK2. I love the first book of that. I like the second. It's like a Matrix thing where I enjoy it, but the first one's better. The second one is really good, but actually it's not like the Matrix, because I think Matrix Reloaded is such a good fucking film. Anyway, I like DK2 as well, but I don't think it's as good as the first one, but it's an interesting thing. I did like DK3 though. I really, really did. I was surprised that I liked it so much, being written mostly by Azzarello with Miller ideas, and was it Andy Kubert, right? Empire says, people keep telling me to read Exterminators. Exterminators is just big dumb fun. It's just being silly and cheesy. That's what it is. And I like it. Red is good, but doesn't seem to go anywhere. Al Ewing's a hard writer for me to get into long term. Truth is, X-Men's going to have 3 events in less than 1 year. That's simply too much. I agree. Immortal, I think that's I agree for that for a fucking company, for a publisher. That's too many. Not just for a group of, right? Twitch says, Immortal is political intrigue. If you go in expecting action, it will disappoint. Red is a good mix. OUG says, oh yeah, you can see that influence in Dark Knight Returns with the manga. Sinner says, I'll take Frank Castle over Frank Miller. I'll take Frank Castle by Frank Miller. Still better than Holy Terror. Yep, you're right. Hey, we got Nick Barucci in the chat. What is up, my buddy? How you doing, man? We were just talking about you, man. We need you to get the Captain Planet rights for David Pepose, because he has pitched a very enthusiastic take on Captain Planet. We just need you to look into who's doing Captain Planet, because nobody's doing anything with Captain Planet. I'm just saying. Anyway, good to see you here, Nick. But I love Carrie Kelly Robin. Not just because my name is Carrie. OUG, you're right. I like Carrie Kelly too. Jim Lee did too, because that's Jubilee. Like, I didn't even realize that ever until there was a cartoonist kayfabe video I was watching, and either Ed or Jim one, I think it was Ed, pointed out that, like, yeah, you know he loves Frank Miller. You can see the influence because Jubilee is straight up Carrie Kelly. And it's right. It's right. It's just totally right. And it's just so obvious. So obvious. So obvious. The thing about this uncanny 270 that we were going through tonight is it's not the Jim Lee that we know yet. There are shades of it. Where are the shades? There are certain things that you look at that are obviously very Jim Lee. I see those bio suits or those mech suits, very Jim Lee. That right there, that upshot of Cannonball, Banshee up there, that's very Jim Lee. The sexy women, very Jim Lee. Let's show off some more of those sexy women. That boom boom, man, I'm just telling y'all. Right there. But there are still very heavy influences in here that you can see from, like, Art Adams. Now, Jim Lee was, as much as he was inspired by Frank Miller, he's also very heavily influenced by Art Adams. And then that leads into, like, J. Scott Campbell when he shows up. Like, there's this lineage that you can follow. And it's kind of like it's almost like the tree of life, right? Like, as far as evolution goes, right? Where you see certain threads diverge and go off on their own, but there's one core thread. You can trace certain things. You can trace a lineage, right? Between Frank Miller, Art Adams, Jim Lee, J. Scott Campbell. You can trace that, and it goes right through. Look at that. Look what we're doing, PCP Army. Nick says, I'll look into Captain Planet. David Pepose is a great writer. Yes, and he's got a good pitch, man. Holy cow. He talked to me and Brian one time about that in the back chat after a show. This dude really wants to do Captain Planet. Boom Boom is a shade. What does that mean, Jelani? Oh my God, I never noticed that about Carrie and Jubilee, but it makes sense. Yeah, totally. 39 seconds. Bengals punting to... Oh, no. It's still a tie game. We going to go into overtime in the AFC Conference Championship? With the Eagles winning, I just know I got to hear a lot of shit from Rex tomorrow. A shade of Jim Lee. I got you. Maybe. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Not to be a contrarian, but why are you ... eagerly and anxiously anticipating what Lars is saying? While I await Lars, let's go ahead and run this, since I know Nick is here. Nick, we've already run this like 3 times, so let's run it again. Everybody join us tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Central Time, over at The Experience, for the Comic Collectibles Show with Rex, John, me, and Dynamic Forces. Always a fun time.
Hey there, everyone. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. Pretty sure everyone's going to be here. Robbie, Rex, John, hopefully. I'll come in if I feel like it, and Nick's definitely going to pop in at some point. But we're going to have all your favorites. Commission cover art, Dynamite books, Marvel, DC, all that you can think of. It's going to be a good show regardless, and if we get enough viewers, we'll throw in a giveaway. Don't tell Nick. So come join us. Remember, it's The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6. Just remember that. 6. Can't wait to see you.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
I didn't even intend to hit the pause, but then I was like, oh, I can do that? I can do that? I didn't even know I had that hotkey. Anyway, 19 seconds left. Kansas City at the Bengals 47. Man, Brother Joe and Bobby right now are just like biting their nails. Haven't even seen them tonight. You know why? Because they're in the AFC Conference Championship. Dynamite is the right place for Captain Planet with the stuff on Darkwing, Gargoyles, and Garbage Pail Kids. Love the Garbage Pail Kids stuff. Darkwing Duck #1 was really good. When we were doing our best comics of the month, Darkwing Duck got brought up. Rightly so. G.I. Joe is also leaving IDW, I thought I heard. Dynamite should pick that one up too. Yeah, they're losing G.I. Joe and Transformers. No announcement of where those rights are going. People are speculating very heavy that they could be Robert Kirkman, that Robert Kirkman with Skybound is trying to get the rights to G.I. Joe and Transformers. A lot of people speculate they want them to go back to Marvel. Dynamite could do some good stuff there. Those are big licenses. Maybe Dark Horse has picked up something? Do we think, is Dark Horse doing a G.I. Joe book? Dark Horse, I think, struggled during the pandemic. And I believe that they're trying to get themselves back on track. They get that deal with Scott Snyder and Comixology. That's helped out. They got the deal with Matt Kent. They got Bendis over there doing some decent stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe picking up some more licensed stuff might be a good move for Dark Horse. Stranger Things has been good for them. And I think that Dark Horse has actually strengthened in the last year. And I think that's good. Yeah, they've done G.I. Joe before because there's that Frank Miller cover. Holy shit. That's dope. Is that a Frank Miller cover? It looks like a Frank Miller cover. G.I. Joe #1, Dark Horse. Yep, that's a Frank Miller cover. Why do I not have that? Holy shit. Speaking of Frank Miller, G.I. Joe #1. I got to write that down. G.I. Joe. I didn't even know about that. Yeah, no news, I guess. I thought I had heard some rumblings that Dark Horse might be picking up G.I. Joe. But the biggest rumblings I heard were Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman's really looking for something to fill in the Walking Dead void in his life right now. And I think he could have some fun producing those comics. I got a lot of notes today. KC wins with a field goal with 8 seconds left. Bruh. Chiefs and Eagles. All right. Chiefs and Eagles. I said Bengals and 49ers. That didn't happen. All right. Congrats to the Chief. What do they call themselves? Chiefs Nation? I don't fucking know. The Red Nation? Something like that? I don't fucking know. Congrats. And I'd love to give a shout out for non-IP Cherish Loving It. Yes, our good buddy Joe Corallo is editing that one with our friend Katana. Or is it Katana? She says Katana. That's why I said Katana. Joe says Katana. I want to say Katana. Then I started saying Katana. Now I'm self-conscious. Did I do a whole show pronouncing her name wrong? She'll never be back. Manic Movie Lovers, love the Castle Grayskull, brother. Yeah, I got a Snake Mountain right there. Got Slime Pit and the Fright Zone. Going to be eventually setting them up in Studio B, which I haven't used in a long, long, long time. Chiefs Kingdom, thank you, Shinroku. I saw Jay said something. Dynamite's been on a tear lately. 007's been crushing. Lars says, second try, why are you seeing Jim Lee as one of the greatest? For me, there are a lot better artists. Travis Cherie is my first alternative. I don't think Jim Lee is the best artist. Here's the thing. I loved Jim Lee in the 90s. When I was a kid, I ate up his X-Men work. I ate up Wildcats. I was very excited when he did Fantastic Four. I like Jim Lee. I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's... Like, if we talk about, to me, my favorite comic book artists of all time, we're talking people like Jack Kirby, Mike Mignola, we're talking about Harvey Kurtzman, we're talking about Daniel Clowes, we're talking about Frank Miller. Those are the names that I'm throwing out. We're talking about Gene Colan, we're talking about Neil Adams and Bernie Wrightson. I mean, Art Adams. These are the people that I'm really into. Barry Windsor Smith. Who else? I'm forgetting people so bad right now. Who's the guy that did Steve Bissette? Oh, man, I'm blanking now. Steve Ditko, of course. John Buscema. Sal Buscema. Man, I love a lot of comic art. And Jim Lee is... I love Jim Lee. I love Rob Liefeld. I love Mark Silvestri. I love Todd McFarlane. I love Eric Larson. I love them all for different reasons. But one thing that I love is Will Eisner. One thing I love is threading the line from the Golden Age artists through the Silver Age, through the whatever we want to call the Bronze or Modern Age or whatever the fuck. I love seeing these lines of influence. And Mobius, Otomo, those are like, Jim Lee is nothing compared to Kirby, Otomo, and Mobius. But I love Jim Lee. There is an energy to it that I love and appreciate on the right things at the right time, at the right moment in my life. So that's why I go goo-goo for Gaga for Jim Lee. No, Helena, we cannot have a studio tour. Maybe one day. It has been the most requested thing probably for me is to do a studio tour, a collection tour, and until I feel like it's ready to be shown, I'm not ready to show it. I show pieces here and there on the PCP Army, and I'll do more of that, and maybe I'll do more of that on our Patreon as well. Thank you very much, Kadazzle. I must have hit them at some point. John Byrne is one of my favorites too. Why did I forget John Byrne? When I did my top 5 favorite artists, it's like Jack Kirby, Mike Mignola, John Byrne, Frank Miller, Daniel Clowes. That's what I mentioned as my top 5. George Perez, Sean Gordon Murphy, fantastic. Fantastic picks, OUG. Dan Moore is good. Gil Kane is up there for Joe Corallo. Joe got me into those action comics that Gil Kane was doing. Those are really, really fun. But I like Jim Lee. I think he's something. I like Humberto Ramos. I like Brian Hitch. I love Frank Quitely. I love Dan Panosian. I love so many great artists. So many. For so many different reasons. Eduardo Risso, absolutely. His work on the Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead is fantastic. I love it so much. Jim Aparo was doing Batman when I first started reading Batman, so I have a soft spot for him. Kelly Jones, big fan of Kelly Jones. Big fan of Sam Keith. Big fan of Del Keown. And fuck it, yeah, I'll admit it nowadays. I'm a big fan of Joe Madureira. He hurt me too much with Battle Chasers because I loved that book so much and it never, ever finished. Never, ever. John Cassaday I like. Jay Lee I love. A lot of comic books. Let me just look at the shelf, actually. Oh, Jeff Smith. J.G. Jones, Carmine Infantino. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Tim Sale. Steve Yell. Wally Wood. Bill Everett. Alan Davis. Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck's super cool guy. Super cool guy, y'all. All right, I'm good now. Jay says, low-hanging fruit, but I love Alex Ross. Yeah. Oh, Jerome Opeña? Absolutely. Joe says, Sal Buscema just turned 87, still around and super underrated. Love his Hulk run and did some great work on Spider-Man. I loved his Spider-Man run. Actually, I mentioned this when we just recently did the, for Marvel in the 90s, a few months ago, I guess, we did the Spectacular Spider-Man bit with Tombstone, like right after Maximum Carnage. We talked about that, and I mentioned how I didn't like Sal Buscema when I was a kid, but I really started just like, I would go back, and those were the pages that I loved looking at again, right? And appreciate, and how quickly he does it too. Throwing in then John Romita and John Romita Jr. I haven't said them yet. Joe meet Helena, Helena meet Joe. There you go. Mark Silvestri, probably the best of the Image founders. On certain levels. But those, we just did Image in the 90s throughout the 30th anniversary year, right? And out of all of them, Savage Dragon reigns supreme for me on the initial launch. Jen Bartel, great artist. I want to see more of her telling stories, though. To really mention, I don't want to just say people that I think are good cover artists, right? But people that can tell stories. Sequential storytelling is what comics is about, Yeah, those Dark Gym covers. I said that I did say this the other day, and I stand by this. The best licensed comic that I have ever read. Oh, Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird. Can I throw them out there for big artists? People I love, Kevin Eastman. One of the highlights of my 2022 was being on fucking stage with Kevin Eastman and modding his panel and kind of turning it into a Rockin Robbie Live conversation instead of just doing the typical shit. Man, I love Kevin Eastman so goddamn much. He's such a cool dude. He told me to reach out and try to get him on the channel. Maybe why didn't I? What's wrong with me? The time to reach out is within that first week or two. God. I get so nervous. Anyway, Kevin O'Neill, R.I.P. Lost a lot of great ones. Fiona Staples, absolutely. Hey, Nick says, agreed on Silvestri. I love Silvestri. And this new work that he's doing, the Batman Joker Deadly Duo, they did the first issue in black and white. I want the whole goddamn thing in black and white because I like the coloring. I think it's Alex Sinclair doing the coloring, but I like the coloring. But seeing Silvestri's inked pages and the detail that he's putting in there, oh my goodness, so good. Today's panel is called Robbie Loves Eastman. Yes. I asked him about the Batmobile that he had, so that was nice. It was a good conversation. Yeah, Romita Jr. is one of the best sequential artists out there. Just so freaking good. Oh, Brian Bolland, I like. Or is it Boland? I always say Boland. Then somebody recently corrected me and said Bolland, and I was like, have I been saying it wrong? Have I? Yeah, Kevin's a super cool dude. The problem with Kevin is Kevin will be like, yeah, man, let's do it. I got 20 minutes. Shit. Okay, let's do it. All right. We got a new segment that we only got barely started on at the end of 2022, where we're going through Batman the Animated Series. It's a little thing that we like to call Datman Batman. Tonight we're talking about the third episode in production order, Nothing to Fear, the debut of the Scarecrow. And that is what we're going to be talking about tonight on
Batman. But I'm Perry. I'm not Batman.
All right, we're talking about Nothing to Fear, the third production episode of Batman the Animated Series, the introduction of the Scarecrow. And Perry, once again, thank you so much for the intros. We really do love them. So it starts off, and there's this helicopter driving, or flying, I should say, through Gotham, ready to start some shit. Inside of it is the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow has an interesting design in this show because he doesn't have the hair yet, so it's an early interpretation of him. And that's one of the cool things about going through this in production order is you get to see different voice actors, different approaches to things, and how they iron it out. But it starts off, this dude who's part of Gotham University, he's being nagged by Summer, who is the news reporter for an interview or whatever. And meanwhile, there's Scarecrow. You get a little bit of him there. See, there's no hair there, and it's not the Scarecrow as he's going to become known in Batman the Animated Series. And of course, they redesign him for the new adventures. But this is a kind of interesting look for him. He's got his henchmen. They're out there. They're going after this bank vault. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne shows up to talk to Summer. I believe that's her name, the news reporter, the journalist, we should say, and the dude who is part of the university who says that Wayne Industries used to mean something, and that if Thomas Wayne was alive today, he would die of shame. So this is sad Batman episode. And what I like about it is it's early on, and in the first episode, we get into Gotham, we get into the police, how they see Batman. In the second episode, we get the Joker, we get Robin, we get a Christmas story, and in the third one, we're going into not blatantly showing the origin of Batman, but showing how important the deaths of his parents is to him. Then we get to Scarecrow. Now, I will say that I like this design, but the design that they eventually settle on, I believe in the next appearance of Scarecrow, I do think is just a little bit better. But I do find something interesting about this. So they go to this bank vault or something like that, and he releases the fear toxin. The guard all of a sudden starts freaking out. He sees spiders all over him. So we get in the story the idea that he's got this fear toxin, how it works, what it does. And he starts telling his past story as he's going through this bank vault. But before all of that, here's the thing. He says, take the cash you want. It's not about the cash. We're burning it all to the ground. So years before Dark Knight Return, or The Dark Knight, I should say, we have a Batman villain who's just trying to burn up a bunch of money. But Batman shows up through the haze, through the gas. He's fighting a villain. He gets hit with some fear toxin. Flames explode. Batman's sitting there freaking out. He is losing it, right? And he's hallucinating images of his father telling him that he's disappointed in him for ruining the Wayne family name. So Scarecrow and them escape. The fire gets put out by the security system. Batman does escape. Then the Scarecrow starts telling his story to his henchmen, how he was always interested in fear, always interested in scaring people and understanding what that means, and how he was kicked out of Gotham University because of it, and everything that he's doing is to get back at Gotham University. Batman is in the cave, Bruce Wayne plugging in some information, crying about his parents. And this is what I'm saying. We don't blatantly see his parents get shot. We don't see any of that, but we get to feel in a kid's show the heaviness of that, and a very, very touching scene where Alfred shows up and basically gives him a nice pep talk, but it's done in a very emotional way. Now, I will say that the animation on this episode is not as good as the first episode or the second. The first episode has been the best, but the story and the I've avoided saying the word nuance, so I don't want to say that. But the weight and the gravity of the emotional connection to Bruce Wayne, the tragedy of his parents' death, and how that led to the birth of Batman is prevalent in this episode. So Scarecrow winds up going and kidnapping the dude who was talking shit to Bruce Wayne. Well, Batman's on the case. Even though he's doused by this fear toxin, he's trying to do what he needs to do to stop Scarecrow from doing everything which is causing fear and panic in Gotham, right? And he's trying to take down Gotham University and burn it. He's on this big blimp. Batman takes it. It gets shot up. It gets caught on fire. Scarecrow and his henchmen, they're freaking out. Batman's out there holding on, gets this giant vision of his father telling him that he's a piece of shit, morphs into this giant skull, and that's where we get that iconic moment where he goes, I am not ashamed. I am not a disappointment. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Man, Toonami used that so much, right? So he saves the remaining henchmen and the dude who was kidnapped from the blimp. Scarecrow gets away in this kind of badass, like, I don't know, like Man with the golden gun type James Bond scenario. Batman saves the dude who was talking shit to him, which spurned all of this on. Batman has a piece of Scarecrow's mask. There's a little bit throughout there threaded about Bullock not trusting Batman, so that's still there. He finds out, because of the mask, who has a history with Gotham University, who works at a chemical plant, which is Crane Chemicals, run by Jonathan Crane, which is, of course, Scarecrow. So he gets doused with his own fear gas. Batman shows up looking like one of the goddamn gargoyles. Same kind of animation, right? And then he takes out Scarecrow, takes him to the police, and then it ends with a very touching moment where he just goes and silently visits the grave of his parents. Nothing to fear. Holy cow. Really powerful episode for what it's trying to do. Like I said, animation's not the best, but the story's pretty decent. Scarecrow up to a decent introduction, and it is the first time in story that Batman and the police are aware of Scarecrow. So in the essence of the story of Batman the Animated Series, this is canonically the first appearance of Scarecrow as a villain to Batman and to Gotham City. So that's cool. It's going to be cool to see how it evolves in the next appearance, because I do think the look evolves into something more iconic and more kind of creepy. This one just looks a little bit too simple, and it has an effect that works, but it doesn't work like the other one. But that's something cool about Scarecrow, is he can change his mask at any time. So all in all, I will give this episode a very strong 4 out of 5. Animation could be better. Voice works okay. For the most part, Kevin Conroy really carries it. We got that fake Alfred voice still. And Jonathan Crane's pretty decent. I don't know if it's the Jonathan Crane voice that we're going to get going forward. I don't think it is. Maybe I'm wrong, and that's okay. Anyway, 4 out of 5 you digs for the 3rd episode of Batman the Animated Series, Nothing to Fear. And I want to know, what did you think? Let me know in the comments, in the live chat. And this has been your presentation of
Batman. But I'm Perry. I'm not Batman.
All right. So how's everybody doing? We're going to take a look at the chat. They need to print Tonka Bunkins in black and white and put them into retailers like White Knight for year one. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Yeah, Kit, I saw that. Kayfabe has an interview with Bolin up today. I'll say it however I want. Bolin up today. He's talking about Killing Joke. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see what he says about the coloring, because I disagree with Brian Bolin about his coloring being better. Andy, my favorite baseball team is the Yankees, New York Yankees, favorite sports team of all time, actually. Mike06, my favorite artists are Paul Pope, Riley Rosmo, Raphael Grandpa, and Elsa Chartier. Peace out, Nick. Have a good one. Marguerite Sauvage is great, yeah. Oh, cool. Is this every Sunday? I need to jump into Batman. Yes, it is every Sunday. Going forward now, yeah. Nick says, before he goes, would everybody please hit the thumbs up button? Thank you, Nick. Good having you here. Can't believe they replace all Saturday morning cartoons with college football. Keep those Perry bits forever. Let's do it again. I love these Perry bits.
Batman. But I'm Perry. I'm not Batman.
That's like my favorite one. Just that whole, but I'm Perry, I'm not Batman. Like, I really like that. I think it's nice. Perry, I need a few more of those. So, there you go. Steph, still got to watch this Batman the Animated Series episode. Let's figure out what's next, because on HBO Max, they're not done in this order. They're in a weird order. The next one is The Last Laugh. Damn, we already on another Joker episode? Oh, it's an April Fool's Day episode. Nice. Yep, another Joker episode. Okay, I'm down. The Last Laugh. Next week on Rockin Robbie Live, y'all. Muppet Babies. Absolutely. OUG. Bobby's World. Eek the Cat. Come on, y'all. X-Men. Spider-Man. Ugh. Good times and good stuff. All right, it's time for our next taste test. Once again, Walker's, which is the British version of Lay's. This is cheese and onion. The back says the same shit. I am looking forward to this more than the prawn cocktail. That was terrible. So these are glorious cheese and onion. And at first it seemed weird to me. Then I thought about sour cream and onions, cheddar and sour cream. So why not? Smell way better. I like these. I like these a lot. Now, it's not like sour cream and onion. There's no sour cream. It's just like cheese and onion. There is an onion flavor, slight cheese flavor, kind of like when I did the Doritos, the British Doritos. There's not as much punch, and that's why people like Mark from Geeks Unleashed can eat American mayonnaise and think that it's spicy, probably. But there's a subtlety to these I really like. That would be a chip I would eat on a regular basis. But it wouldn't be my number one go-to. So I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5 you digs. So that one was pretty good. Good. Thank God. Thank the gods. Masked Rider, Common Rider, hell yeah. GTK Comic, what is up? Plain guy myself, all right. I hear prawn pairs really well with cheese and onion. Why not combine them, Robbie? If I get a $10 super chat, I'll fucking combine them. That's the only way I'm going to do it. $10 super chat, I'll combine it. And we'll let you know. But that's it. What is the worst chip? I think the worst goddamn chip I've ever had in my life is this right fucking here. Nothing. How are the cookie M&Ms? I haven't tried them yet, but I'll let you in on a special secret. I have some right now, and I'm going to try them on the weekly comic book review because I keep making it a point to say. Helena says, somebody make him eat the weird thing. All right, Andy with $3 super chat, so $7 more. I'll combine the worst chip I've ever tasted with cheese and onion, which is a pretty decent chip. But outside before tonight, salt and vinegar, the chip. I cannot stand salt and vinegar chips. The prawn cocktail are for the special interested. Yeah. Thank you. I want to try the Snickers popcorn. Not that great, Sinner. I'll say that. Oh, here's another thing I want to talk about. $7 more. You get to see me eat another one of these, and maybe the cheese and onion will make it taste better. I fucking doubt it. I had the Taco Bell wings yesterday. Taco Bell has wings, right? Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Taco Bell has wings now. So I saw them on the menu. I tried them. Not very good. They are like breaded, crispy fast food wings. Like if you try the wings at like Crystal's or when McDonald's had the Mighty Wings or whatever, it's very similar to that. They claim that they're like taco Mexican seasoned. Bullshit. Like not at all. It just tasted like a Crystal's fucking chicken wing. The sauce is some kind of like ranch with a kick or something like that. And didn't really work for me. So it was all right. But yeah, I don't know. Didn't really work. I lost what I was saying. To be honest. No, I have not watched Letterkenny ever. OUG says the bag said Supreme prawn cocktail. Maybe the regular prawn cocktail is better. Well, maybe. Pizza Hut and Little Caesars also has disgusting wings. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. I was talking about they had this ranch and I guess it's like a Chipotle ranch or something. I don't know, but it did not work with the wing. The wing was better without the sauce. And the wings were just okay. They're obviously frozen, so they don't have the meatiness of a real wing. So I'm going to give it 2 you digs. 2 out of 5 you digs with the sauce. 2.5 on their own. Because congratulations, Taco Bell, you made a fucking wing. Here's the goddamn problem. Why is Taco Bell wasting time with wings, but not giving us the enchilada, 7-layer burrito, or a double-decker taco, in which they have all the ingredients they need to make those 3 items that are no longer on their menu? They still have every single goddamn item to make those things. To do chicken wings, you gotta, like, whole new goddamn thing. What the fuck ever. Anyway, Andy, thank you for the super chat. It at least gives us a Hellboy song. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin. Bobby, congrats! Present the demon on my mama, who had sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit. Now he fights with the man who's a fish named. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz and an ectoplasmic mess named Yo. BPRD. Congrats, Bobby, on the Chiefs' victory. Going to another Super Bowl. I'm with you, buddy. Kick the shit out of them Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. What's up, Fable? Lovely to see you. Jay asks, what is happening? I don't even know. Jay, is this even real? It's not even real. Y'all question yourselves. Question your reality every once in a while. Look at your hands. Ask yourself if this is real. Who knows what's happening? Yeah, fuck the Eagles, Jelani. You're right. All right. It's time for show and tell. Got some recent pickups I want to show off. Hate how it takes me until Wednesday to get the Hellboy song out of my head, but I watch it every week. Well, thank you so much. It's not real, Jay. It's not. Yeah, fuck the Eagles. I appreciate all of us in solidarity saying fuck the Eagles. Go Chiefs. This is for Bobby and Joe. Go Chiefs. And go Rihanna. Rihanna's going to be the big winner. In fact, we're going to be the big winners. We get to see Rihanna do a halftime show. Let's hope it's a good one. What's your favorite halftime show? Ugh. I'm still going to go Prince. Love you, Bobby. Now he fights evil and monster. And this is why I'm an award winner. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. All right, show and tell. I picked up this as the latest DVD or Blu-ray I got. The Dentist Collection from Vestron. Brand new release this week. Has The Dentist 1 and 2. So there you go. I've seen 1. I don't think I've ever seen 2. I picked these up. This is the Blade Runner Marvel adaptation with artwork by Al Williamson. Right? Yes. I had to make sure. Penciled by Al Williamson and Carlos Garzón, with inks by Al Williamson and Carlos and Dan Green and Ralph Reese. They did a special edition of this, collected into one thing that was on a different paper stock, and I don't like the colors. And me and my buddy Davey were actually talking about this week. So we were doing a comparison, and he told me that I should do a color comparison between the 2 Blade Runner books. Do you think that's a good idea? Because I would like to do something like that, because I love the way the colors come across here. But there is the Blade Runner adaptation from Marvel 1 and 2. I have the special edition, but I don't like the recoloring or the way it prints on that paper. So excited to have that. Do you want me to do a comparison video? All right. When we had a couple weeks ago, we did the show about No Straight Lines, The Rise of Queer Comics, which is available right now on the PBS app, easily available to stream and watch for free. I highly encourage you to check it out. So at my shop, I started I reached out. I started trying to see how many of these books from these creators that I had just heard about, really, that I could find. So we got some Alison Bechdel stuff. We got some other stuff coming. We did get some other stuff, but unfortunately, I couldn't find much from Howard Cruz in print available for me to get. But I was able to find From Headrak to Claude, which is the collected gay comics by Howard Cruz. Gay Comics, the anthology. This is his collected work there. The artwork is absolutely amazing. I gotta make sure I go to the right page. Really, really great stuff. I'm excited to flip through. I've flipped through it and looked at the artwork, and there's a lot more than just the comics. There's a lot of like commentary and analysis and stuff like that. So really excited to dive into this. Howard was a mentor and a big inspiration for our friend Joe Corallo. So I'm really excited to dive into his work. Still got to get a copy of Stuck Rubber Baby, though, for sure. I'm collecting up the EC Archives paperback editions from Dark Horse. So Weird Fantasy Volume 1 came out this week, so I had to get it. Some of the best comic art you'll ever see is in the pages of EC Comics. And showed this one off last night on Dylan's Horror Show, but I got my April O'Neil as the Bride of Frankenstein. This figure looks exactly like the April O'Neil from the very first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. The figure is great, and we will be opening it up at some point on this channel. We'll open it up next week. Next week, for sure. Next week. All right. And that's show and tell, which leads us to Final Five. Going through the 95 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man set. We're in the milestones section. It's all just some bullshit Clone Saga stuff. Web of Death. That's a cool card, though. By Joe DeVito. Then we've got, what is this one? Smoke and Mirrors. It's all Clone Saga stuff, but a cool Jackal bit right there. Luis Royo. Oh, The Death of a Parker. Is that when Aunt May died? Yeah, bro, that's when Aunt May died. Amazing 400. Holy cow. John Ellis. All the milestones are their more recent stories, which is fucked up. The Venom Flows. Carnage. The Venom Flows. Oh, so this is now a new... This is Venom versus Carnage, man. Look at that. Holy shit. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. This is the first time I'm actually going through this card set as well. Just so you know. Look at that. If it would focus. Tom Kiffin. This is by Mark Sasso. This is The Venom Flows. This is Daredevil. Okay, the Venom thing. Venom versus Carnage. Venom versus Daredevil. And it's the armored Daredevil, but that's pretty dope. Y'all, that's dope. All right, and that has been your... Where'd the button go? Final Five. Yep, hit the wrong button there. All right, let's take a look. Shakira was amazing too. All right, I got you there. The real question is, will Brady finally retire so that Patrick Mahomes can take his rightful place as the most hated man in the NFL for doing his job well? Now, I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. Not at all. Prince and then McCartney, maybe The Who and the Stones, says Ouroboros. That would be a dope video. Anything with you and comics is dope. Well, thank you, Eric. Prince legit started playing Purple Rain and it started pouring. There's no argument. Yes, and the purple lights, it was too perfect. Cruz, he was the one that said he accidentally came across the Stonewall riots. Yes, while tripping on acid, OUG. Thank you, Jelani. Yeah, thank you. Yep, that was him, Joe says. Lady Gaga and Metallica was decent. Dope pickups, Robbie. Thank you, Ouroboros. Stuff like the Aerosmith NSYNC halftime show. Hey, what's up, Chaos? How you doing, Chris? Good to see you. Glad you showed up at the end of the show. All right. What's coming up here at PCP? Tomorrow night, join me over at the EXP for the Comic Collectibles show. And after that, be sure to pop over to Scarpad's Sci-Fi Sojourns as they talk about The Terminator. But then after that, join us for the most important PCP movie night in the history of PCP movie nights, and it's Surf Ninjas. And then join us Saturday for Dylan's Horror Show Smile. PCP mystery boxes now available. Only 10 are available. They're $30, including shipping. Email me at popculturephilosophers.com@gmail.com if you are interested. All right, y'all. We love you. Hope you have a great week. Remember, respect, love, be yourself, help other people, and just read some dope-ass comics. We're dipping out. Have a good one. Thanks for rocking with us. Station. Pop, pop. Boom!
Hey there, everyone. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. Pretty sure everyone's going to be here. Robbie, Rex, John, hopefully. I'll come in if I feel like it, and Nick's definitely going to pop in at some point. But we're going to have all your favorites. Commission cover art, Dynamite books, Marvel, DC, all that you can think of. It's going to be a good show regardless, and if we get enough viewers, we'll throw in a giveaway. Don't tell Nick. So come join us. Remember, it's The Experience this Monday, January 30th at 6. Just remember that. 6. Can't wait to see it.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Yeah, it's a new year, but it's the same Rockin Robbie Live. You know we got to do the post-credits, and if you did your math right, you know I said I had 3 bags of chips to try. So here are the Walker's Monster Munch Grab Bag Edition. Miniature monsters with big, crispy hands or crunchy claws, plucked straight from pickled onion beasts. Bite off each crispy toe, or is it an arm? Nibble the sides or stick your tongue through the hole and let it melt in all of its oniony, vinegary glory. Pickled onion flavored Monster Munch. Let's do it. These are corn, so they're like Cheetos. They're like Funyuns in the shape of monster paws. Oh my God. God. Ah. God, it's so gross. No, man. They like vinegar too much in Britain, man. Fuck that shit. Oh, God. Ugh. That's nasty as fuck. That's worse than the other one. That's worse than the other one. 0, you digs. 0. Thanks, Mike. This one's a winner. The prawn one sucks ass. The pickled onion's even fucking worse. God. No, there ain't no way I would put my tongue through that hole and taste the venturi goodness. God, that's just so gross. Two Gun, you're not kidding. I thought I would like it because Mike's like, it's like Funyuns. I love Funyuns. That's so gross. God. All right, y'all. Fuck. That's so nasty. Have a good one. We love you, Station.